I bought the Sigma 30mm 1.4 lens in 2025. Is it worth it? Here's my honest review. So I actually have the lens right here. Picked it up from MPB. They're like the best go-to site for like any used gear you want. You could trade, buy, sell. So let's dive right in. So this is the lens, the Sigma 30 millimeter 1.4 man, right here. Off rip, you just see how small this is. But let's take a deeper dive into it. Just take a look at that. So let's start off. Why did I buy this lens in 2025? We all know Sigma makes great lenses. They have all types of lenses, but this would actually be my first Sigma lens. And I got this lens for specific reasons. One, I got this video for talking heads. I plan on doing more talking head videos in 2025, and I heard, and from what I researched, this lens is a killer at it. Like, you put that on your camera, you have a talking lens, like, it's a talking lens unicorn. Like, it's honestly like a one-on-one of its kind for talking for talking heads, excuse me. It just does the best for that. And I also got this for cinematic B-roll. I plan on doing cinematic B-roll, adding that to my content bag for all of 2025. And I also got it for portrait photography, so when I'm doing those nice creamy crispy portraits, I can use this lens. So obviously the lens is good at everything that I just said, like talking head, cinematic B-roll, portrait photography. But why? At the 1.4 aperture, you get creamy and crispy background blur. So like everything, like right now I'm using this the Tamron 17-70 2.8, so my background isn't that blurred at 17 millimeters. But considering that this is a prime, whatever you have in focus, your background will be so blurred and it'll be nice and creamy, which adds to the effects of B-roll, especially cinematically, portrait photography, and for talking heads, it just gives you a more professional and a more cleaner look, and that's honestly what I'm going for. Also, the tight angle. So since you know that like you'll be shooting at 30 millimeters, you know everything will be nice and tight. It's not a wide angle lens, so everything is just there. It's in your front, it's in your forefront, and it's just there. So for example, like if I'm shooting like the water bottle and I can get the angle right on there, you'll know that everything around it is not in focus, but the water bottle is in focus because it's so tight, which is good. The lens is also amazing in low light, which is something that I've been struggling with in my content setup. The lowest aperture I've been able to have is like just 2.8s. I haven't even had anything like a 1.8 or 1.4, so this will be my first one. So I'll be able to just do way better low light content. I'll just be way better in that regard. And this lens is lightweight, considering that it's a 30 millimeter and you probably associate longer focal lengths with heavier lenses. This lens is tiny, man. Like, it's literally like just this big. Like, I don't even know what to compare it to. Like, it's not big, it's not heavy at all. Like, there's some way heavier lenses out there. So if you want something portable, this is definitely the lens for you. So how would I use this lens? So I just went on and slapped this right onto the Sony ZV-E10. As you can see, the ZV-E10 the ZV-E10 does its job. Can't lie about that. The ZV-E10 does its job as a camera. So pairing this with the ZV-E10 allows the ZV-E10 to be just a powerhouse, better image quality, because as you know, certain lenses don't look that good with the ZV-E10, but this is one of those lenses that makes the ZV-E10 really look like a professional camera. So as you can see, the ZV-E10 still gets to keep its lightweight look. Like, I have a whole cage on it and the camera is still so small. The lens is still so small. Like, it's just such a good way to set something up. And then I have the Sony 10-20 lens here to compare, which is what I normally use for vlogging. Even though the Sigma isn't a vlogging lens, I feel like it's a good comparison of what I went from to what I'm used to. Like, this lens is also light, and I feel like the Sigma compares just as well. And that's just literally how it looks. So this is how it looks on camera. Good lens for sure. So when comparing it to other lenses, like for example the Sony 10-20, even though they're not the same lens group, like they're not made to do the same thing, the Sigma definitely clears in terms of build quality. Like, the build quality of the Sigma is more sturdier than the Sony's like matte kind of feel. Like, you feel like if you drop this, it would break compared to if you were to drop this. Also, this is a 10-24 So f-stop of 4. This is a 30 millimeter 1.4. So with that being said, the image quality on Sigma will be far greater than this lens would ever be able to achieve, because of the f-stop. The background blur is also better on the Sigma. So the Sigma, like, those capabilities of the Sigma just make it automatically a better lens in my collection. When comparing it to the Tamron 17 to 72.8 that I'm using right now, I would say that, like I said, the background blur would be better on this. It will also be a better talking head lens. It would just lose out on the zoom capability, but that's also why I have that lens, for that specific reason. So it was snowing yesterday and I used this lens outside, so I got some footage just to show you guys how it looks. I got it on the ZVE, so I think I'll also get the other tests that I do on the lens off the ZVE just to keep things fair. So what I'll do is I'll just record some stuff in my room with the lens just so you guys can see the background blur, and then when it gets darker or I dim the lights, I'll just do something in the complete, like, not complete dark, but when it's dark, just to show you guys how it performs. And and if I can write down my settings and have my settings, I'll let you guys know what the settings were. So I'll do a couple tests and put some test footage next. Let's do a test with some shoes in the closet. So let's get to the question that everybody wants to know. Is this lens worth it? In my honest opinion, yes and no. Yes, for if you're trying to get into photography, or if you are doing photography, you just want a new lens, something to experiment with, something to have a better background. Yes. If you're doing online content like TikTok or talking head YouTube videos where you can put the camera up on a tripod, you can back up, you can angle it directly to where you want to be, and you want that nice tightness or that zoom just to get like you in the shot, have your background blurred. Yes, even in the gym, like I've seen people do this. Like, you can do so much with the lens. It's versatile at 30 millimeters. 30 millimeters is not the farthest, it's not the biggest focal length in the world, and it's not the tightest. So it's good for those type of things, but you have to already have it pre-planned. Like, it can't be, for example, the reason why I say no is because if you're a vlogger or you're trying to vlog, this lens is not for you. You're going to have to be trying to extend your, like, your hand like so far, it just won't even be worth it. It won't even be worth it at all. Like, I know some people struggle vlogging at 20, so imagine a 30, and then if you're using like the zoom, the optical stabilization features on the ZV-10, you'd be zooming in by a crop of 1.5, I believe. So you'd be looking at something that's close to like 50 millimeters just to vlog. That's not even worth anything, in my opinion. If you're trying to vlog, this isn't the lens for you. Maybe the 16 millimeter Sigma is, which I'll be getting in a couple days, so I'll try that one out. But overall, yes, if you know what you can use this lens for, if you find a purpose for this lens and you just know what you want to do, you have that idea, yes, this lens is perfect. The size, the quality, the bokeh, which is the background blur, is just the best for its value. That as well, this lens is cheap. I think these are under 300 right now. Like, this one might have been 270 something, 275 from MPB. Like, these lenses are cheap and they're good, so please invest. And if your camera has like ISS or it has like some type of stabilization, this thing will even be way better. So please invest into this if this is something that you're trying to get into. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you want me to do more review videos. I have a whole, like, my tech gear is just getting up, and I'm trying to give you guys some more reviews and videos like that, but only if you guys want them. 2025 is our year. This is the Sigma 30mm 1.4 in 2025. It is worth it.